Hey everybody, how's it going? At the moment, we got a sale going on this Pagani Zonda R, 45% off. So that's a pretty good deal. Instead of spending some 400 gold or 320 gold with a showcase discount, you only have to spend 220 to obtain this car. And of course, the 45% discount offer does apply towards uh, upgrades as well, as you guys know. So that normally, in order to fully upgrade this car, it'll cost you some 633 gold. But with 45% off, it's gonna be down to 349, like ish. So you're saving, good 284 gold or so. And the reason why I'm talking about the upgrade cost is because we're going to talk about the exclusive series, as you probably have guessed from the title of the video. so, uh, so at the moment, if you don't own this car, um, it's gonna cost you about like just under 600 gold to not only purchase the car, and also you're able to fully upgrade this car for about that cost. And then you will have access to not only this exclusive series, which pays out 100 gold total, it's a reward, but the car itself is featured, by the way, here. It's featured in a lot of series. 6 different series. Why? Because it's an older car from 2009. So, yeah, the cars used to be featured in multiple series, not just one or two, like all the new ones. So this one, belonging to that old legacy part of the game, as it were, you can take this car in many different series. So, I mean, it's not like you can 100% complete all the series the car's featured in, but at least a couple. So, and it's also nice to have some Paganis in your garage in general. The interior of the Paganis, the way they have it, shown in the game are just beautiful. Yeah, none quite like Paganis in the game. Anyway, let's go on to the main topic, that is the exclusive series. All right, so this car has just 24 upgrades, by the way, once again, because it's older car. And racing dollars only, you can actually get like 15 of those 24 available upgrades, bring your PR up to 80.3. Base PR is 7.4. 7.4, did I say? 74.0. 7.4. Wow, that's quite a PR boost for upgrades. Anyway, so what I was gonna say is you get about 6.6 PR point boost from racing dollar upgrades, costing you some couple of hundred, maybe about quarter of a million racing dollars. And then when you max it out, it does go up to 84.1. So anyway, here we are. Pagani Zonda R, a frighteningly powerful track car entirely unconcerned with being road legal. Is that a wise decision? Well, in this game, doesn't really matter, does it now? Alright, so here's a breakdown of the 100 gold reward total, broken down into 25% completion increment. Right, so first 20, and the series is, as you can see, 20 tiers with the 3 time trial tiers. So that means in terms of total events, number of events, there are 54 total. So 51 trophy events plus 3 time trials. So that means the first 25% completion requires you to complete 14 events. So it could be like, I guess, 11 trophies, gold trophies, and 3 time trials, or 14 gold trophies. You understand how that goes. And then the 50% completion requires you to complete 27 events. 75% completion requires you to complete 41 events, and of course 100% completion requires you to complete all 54. All right, so with that being said, let's take a look at the event types to be expected in this series. Obviously, we got 3 time trials, right? So the tier 5, we got the first one at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit. And then tier 10, we got the second time trial at Catalunya Grand Prix. And then tier 15, we got the 24-hour Le Mans Circuit time trial. So those are the 3 time trials in this exclusive series. And of course, all non-time trial tiers do feature a cup. So 17 cup events. So those generally are going to be a little bit, well, at least you have to do a full lap, right? So here, as always, we'll go through the breakdown of the series by event types in, I guess, alphabetic order. So, Autocross, which kicks off this series to begin with. So tier 1, so there are 5 autocrosses in this series. So we got first one in tier 1, Bugatti Circuit. And the next instance is in tier 7. This one taking place at Melbourne. And the third instance, you'll find it in tier 11. This one taking place at Hockenheim Short. And then the fourth instance, you find it in tier 14, taking place at Mount Panorama. And then the final autocross in tier 18, taking place at Spa. So those are 5 down. Then if you get, I guess, let's see, 14 is what you need. So 9 more events done, then you can claim the first 25% completion. So let's move on to the next non-cup event, which would be a drag race. So there are 2 drag races, which is, I don't mind 2. 2 is a good number. I prefer 1, but maybe I'm asking for too much then. Don't want to sound too greedy, So the first drag race, you find it in tier 4. This one taking place at Catalunya Grand Prix. And then tier 19 is the other drag race. This one taking place at the Brickyard road course section. So somebody did tell me it does make a difference because the length of your drag race varies depending on where it's taking place. But I feel like in terms of like actual results, it's all about the launch, So if you're spot on with the launch, even if the drag race goes longer or shorter, you're generally gonna win. But if you mistime the first launch timing, then subsequent gear shift, even when you get perfect shift, it's gonna be harder, right? So more emphasis on the first one, and also because the first one is the most unpredictable one, kind of, right? Anyway, those are the 2 drag races. So if you complete autocross and drag race, you're halfway to the 25% completion. So those, I guess, like 12.5%, right? Then the next elimination, we got 5 eliminations in this series. First one in tier 2, taking place at Berlin, Formula E circuit. And then next one in tier 6, taking place at another very narrow and curvy technical circuit, Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit. And then the third one, you'll find it in tier 9, taking place at the Brickyard road course layout. And then the fourth instance, you find it in tier 13, this one taking place at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. And the final 5th elimination takes place at Dubai Club Circuit. So they're all very kind of more on a short and curvy circuit, but of course, elimination is a time event, so it doesn't really matter where it's taking place. You still have to survive for what, like 2 minutes 20 seconds. All right, so those are 5 eliminations, and then next we got 5 endurances. So endurance can go on forever, right? If you have some competitive friends, TSM targets, then yeah, They can sometimes, well, actually in my case, oftentimes run generally longer than like a decent length cup race. So if it becomes too difficult, you can of course always go offline and race offline, so you have only flag bots to race against. Then even the longest distance target usually is like in teens at most. Generally, I don't see them going in past like 10 kilometers, 11 kilometers at most, maybe. So I haven't raced against the flag bot in endurance race in a while, so I don't remember exactly what kind of target you get, but they're generally fairly easy to manage. Anyway, so that's first one, tier 4. And then next instance of the endurance, tier 8. This one taking place at Brands Hatch. And then the third instance of the endurance, you'll find it in tier 11, taking place at Monza Road Course. And the fourth instance, we have tier 16, taking place at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. And then the final endurance, you'll find it in tier 20, taking place at Laguna Seca. All right, next type, head-to-head. We got 3 of those, so they're all single lap event. So first one in tier 3, taking place at Hockenheim Grand Prix. So let's just confirm, make sure it's a single lap. So there it is. So first one, single lap. And then second one, you find it in tier 12. This one at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix circuit, appropriately the 2009, right? Since the car's production years also 2009, another single lap head-to-head. And then the third instance, you find it in tier 14, taking place at Spa. Once again, single lapper, right? So those are 3 head-to-heads. And then we got 5 hunters. Now this is once again a single lap event, but some hunter events can be a bit of a pain, especially if somebody set a ridiculous target distance by essentially crashing Sylvia, right? Then I wish they would disqualify the score if you crash. It would be nice if you have to kind of race legit, but I do come across sometimes having to do the same just to get by. So what do you do? Anyway, the first hunter we got here in tier 2 at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. And then second instance of hunter, you find it in tier 8. This one at Silverstone Grand Prix. And third one is going to be in tier 12, taking place at Circuit of the Americas National Circuit. And then the fourth one, you find it in tier 16 at Melbourne. And then the final, fifth hunter, you find it in tier 19, taking place at Mount Panorama. All right, so those are 5 hunters. And then speed record, another setup single lap event. So we got 5 of those as well. Tier 1, we got the first speed record at Suzuka Grand Prix. And then second instance of speed record, tier 6, taking place at Monza Road Course. And the next third instance is going to be in tier 9. This one taking place at Daytona Motorcycle Course. And of course, speed record is not rolling start. Just so you know, because your a lot of events that takes place at Daytona tend to be a rolling start, like every cup event, right? Or head-to-head, or elimination. I guess those are the 3. Well, and time trial obviously is always rolling start. So those 4 types of events are always rolling start at Daytona, and the speed record, not one of them. So anyway, and then the fourth instance of speed record is going to be, you'll find it in tier 17, this one. Another Daytona, this one at Road Course though. And then the final speed record and Tier 20 taking place at Nürburgring Grand Prix. So those are all, as I said, full lap event. And next, final sort of the variety event, Speed Snap, right? So we got 4 of those quick short events, right? So first one, you find it in Tier 3, taking place at Dubai Club Circuit. And then second one, you find it in Tier 7. This one taking place at Nürburgring Grand Prix. And Tier 13 is the next instance of Speed Snap you'll find taking place at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. And then the final one, Tier 18, taking place at Porsche Test Track Short On-Road Circuit. So those are all going to be fairly short, even though the one at Nürburgring, I know it's generally a little bit longer for a Speed Snap, but it's still a small section of a circuit, so less than a full lap, right? So those are all the sort of the variety events. And then, of course, we got 17 cup events. So let's see, before I go on with the cup events, so if you get through all the autocross, all the speed snap, then you already have 9 trophies under your belt, right? And then if you go through drag races, there are 2. So that brings your completion to 11 events. And 14 is what you need to claim the 25% completion. So you only need 3 more. So you can do 3 time trials, all 3. Or you can do head-to-head, single lap, right? So they're not terribly long. Yeah, so there are options to quickly claim that 25% completion reward of 10 gold and 20,000 racing dollars. Not a whole lot, but that places you towards bigger and greater rewards, right? So anyway, a little bit of strategy there. And all right, so let's take a look at the 17 of those cup events. So first one, Tier 1 taking place at the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. And it's going to be a quick 2-lap cup. And Tier 2, we got the Laguna Seca 3-lap cup. So we're traveling through US here. And then Tier 3, we're going to be in Germany, Nürburgring Grand Prix Cup, just a 2-lapper. And then Tier 4, we're in Bathurst, Australia, down under, Mount Panorama. Another 2-lap cup, so not terribly long one so far, right? And then Tier 6, the 5th cup here, Daytona Road Course, 3 laps, so we're back in US. And then Tier 7, we got cup at Spa, 3 laps, so that's beginning to get a little bit longer because Spa, of course, one of the longer circuits in the game. And then Tier 8, we got Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit, cup 3-lapper. So this sort of the middle section of the second quarter cups are all kind of similar length, 3-lapper. Let's see if that's going to be the case for Tier 9 Suzuka Grand Prix Cup. Yes, also 3-lapper. So they're fairly comparable length. I think Suzuka is the longest one in that group. But anyway, that takes us to the sort of the third quarter, right? Tier 11, a cup at Bugatti Circuit. We're up to 4 laps. On the Bugatti Circuit, a little bit shorter than prior group of cup event venues, right? And Tier 12, we got Dubai Grand Prix. And this one's also going to be 4-lap cup. So this group of cup here, I'm suspecting they're going to be all 4 laps. So Tier 13, we got Porsche Test Track Long On-Road Circuit. And that's going to be a 5-lapper. All right, so that's a slightly smaller circuit. Okay, let's see. Tier 14, we got a sort of the standard bearer, right? Silverstone Grand Prix. And that's going to be a 4-lap. So yeah, so that third quarter section of this series is 4-lapper. So we started with the Tier 1 through 4, kind of like 2-lap. 6 through 9, 3 laps. 11 through 14, 4 laps. And then now I'm expecting the final group of cup events to be 5-lapper. So let's double check. Tier 16, we got Cup at Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. And yes, that's a shorter circuit. So we get 6 lap there. And Tier 17, we got Monza Road Course. Is this going to be, yep, back to 5. So yeah, they're kind of, as I said, comparable distance, of course. Tier 18, we got the 24-hour circuit Le Mans Cup. And that one's going to be 3 laps because it's the longest by far in the game, right? So even with 3 laps, that's a decent length. Which takes us to Tier 19, with a Cup at Catalunya Grand Prix. And Catalunya, yeah, a little bit shorter circuit. So we got 6 lap Cup there. And then Tier 20, final Cup at Hockenheim Grand Prix. And that's going to be an 8 lapper. So that's definitely the longest. Yeah, I would say 8 laps around Hockenheim Grand Prix is longer than 3 laps around Le Mans, I think. Yeah. So, all right. So those are your summation, sort of an overview of the exclusive series featuring the currently featured or currently on discount beautiful Pagani Zonda R. So hopefully you guys find the information useful, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, take care.